Jin Ho stared out the viewport as the transport ship approached the massive space station. His heart beat fast in his chest. After months of tests, interviews, and training, he was finally here, the Galactic Academy. "First time off Earth?" asked the blue-skinned alien sitting next to him. Jin Ho nodded. "Yes. First human from my city to be accepted here." The alien's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "A Deathworlder. How interesting." It moved slightly away from Jin Ho. Jin Ho was used to this reaction now. In the 3 weeks since leaving Earth, most aliens he met did the same thing. They called Earth a death world because of its high gravity, dangerous animals, extreme weather, and the fact that humans had evolved there. To them, humans were scary space monsters. The ship docked with a soft bump. Jin Ho grabbed his bag and joined the line of new students heading for the exit. The station's artificial gravity felt light to him, only about 0.8 of Earth's pull. He had to be careful not to jump when he walked. A voice called out from the crowd, "Jin Ho, over here." Jin Ho spotted another human waving at him. The man wore the blue uniform of Academy staff and had a friendly smile. "I'm Ta," the man said, offering his hand. "I'll be your guide for your first few weeks here." Jin Ho shook his hand, relieved to see another human. "Nice to meet you. I didn't know there were other Koreans at the Academy." "There are 12 of us now, counting you," Ta said. "Humans are still pretty rare here, less than 2% of the student body. Come on, let's get you processed and settled." They walked through wide hallways filled with aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some looked almost human, while others were completely different. Floating gas bags, insect-like beings with 6 limbs, and creatures that seemed made of living crystal. Jin Ho noticed how the crowd parted for them. Aliens watched him with expressions he couldn't read, but their body language was clear enough. Fear, curiosity, disgust. "Don't mind them," Ta said quietly. "Most of them come from worlds with half of Earth's gravity and no predators. To them, we're basically space orcs." They arrived at a check-in area where Jin Ho had his retina scanned and received his student ID card and room assignment. "You're in Block 8, the human dormitory," Tai explained. "The administration found it's easier to keep our environmental settings separate. Our room temperature, air mix, and gravity are uncomfortable for most species." Jin Ho frowned. "But I thought the point of the exchange program was integration." "It is. You'll be fully integrated for classes, meals, and activities. Just not for sleeping arrangements." Ta smiled. "Trust me, you'll be glad for a place where you can relax in Earth-normal conditions." They entered a transport tube that whisked them to the residential section. As they walked down the hallway of Block H, Jin Ho heard familiar music coming from one of the rooms, old Korean pop songs his parents used to play. "Here we are, room 42, Ta said, stopping at a door. "Your roommate is Hejun. He's been here for 1 semester already, so he can help you adjust." The door slid open to reveal a simple room with 2 beds, 2 desks, and a small sitting area. A young man was unpacking clothes from a bag. "Hejun, this is Jin Ho, your new roommate," Ta said. Hejun looked up and smiled. "Welcome to the scariest dorm in the galaxy, fellow Deathworlder." Jin Ho laughed for the first time since leaving Earth. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad after all. "Your orientation starts tomorrow at 800 station time," Ta said. "Get some rest. You'll need it." As Tai left, Jin Ho looked out the room's small window at the stars beyond. He had dreamed of this moment, being among the stars, representing humanity. Now that he was here, he felt both excited and afraid. "Ready to terrify some aliens with our scary human ways?" Hejun asked with a grin. Jin Ho smiled back. "As ready as I'll ever be." The orientation hall was filled with new students of every shape, size, and color. Jin Ho sat in a chair designed for human bodies, feeling out of place. Most aliens sat or floated at least 3 empty seats away from any human. They act like we have a disease, Jin Ho whispered to He Jun. To them, we might as well, He Jun replied. Our bacteria could make some of them sick. At least, that's what they claim. Really, they're just scared of us. A tall, thin alien with purple skin and 6 arms walked to the front of the room. When it spoke, a small device on Jin Ho's collar translated its clicks and whistles into Korean. Welcome to the Galactic Academy. I am Director Kell. You represent the brightest minds from 57 worlds. Here, you will learn from each other and build the future of our shared galaxy. The director's eyes moved across the room and paused briefly on the human section. Some of you come from worlds very different from others. These differences are to be respected, not feared. Remember our first rule: all species have value. After the speech, students broke into groups for a tour of the academy. Jin Ho found himself in a group with 12 aliens and 1 other human, a woman with short black hair. As they walked through the science labs, Jin Ho noticed the aliens watching him whenever they thought he wasn't looking. One small green alien with large eyes kept making notes on a tablet every time Jin Ho moved. During a break, the other human approached him. I'm Mina, she said. Medical student. You must be Jin Ho. Tae told me about you. Nice to meet you, Jin Ho said. Is it always like this? The staring. Mina smiled. You get used to it. Most of them have never seen a human in person before. We're like walking monsters to them. But why? Jin Ho asked. We don't look that strange. It's not how we look. It's what we are. Mina lowered her voice. Most inhabited planets in the galaxy have lower gravity than Earth, no large predators, and stable weather. Their species evolved in safe conditions. Jin Ho thought about Earth's tigers, sharks, storms, and earthquakes. And we didn't, he said. Exactly. Humans evolved on a death trap of a planet. We can survive things that would kill most species instantly. Our bones are too dense, our muscles too strong, and our endurance is off the charts by galactic standards. A blue alien with tentacles instead of arms floated nearby, clearly listening to their conversation. When Jin Ho looked at it, the alien quickly moved away. See that? Mina said. That's June. He's from a water world with 1/3 Earth's gravity. To him, you're basically a monster who can crush bones just by squeezing too hard. The tour continued to the dormitories, cafeteria, and recreation areas. Each time they entered a new space, the aliens would shuffle to keep distance from Jin Ho. Back in their room that evening, Jin Ho told He Jun about his day. I feel like a zoo animal, he said. They either avoid me or stare like I'm about to attack. He Jun was typing on his computer. Wait until they see you in gym class. That's when it gets really funny. What do you mean? Jin Ho asked. You'll find out tomorrow, He Jun said with a smile. Just remember to hold back. A lot. Jin Ho checked his class schedule. His first class tomorrow was Adaptive Physical Training 101 with Professor Yoon. Any advice? Jin Ho asked. He Jun stopped typing. Yes, don't try to impress anyone. Don't show off. And most importantly, don't accidentally hurt anyone. Why would I hurt anyone? Because, He Jun said seriously, what feels like a gentle tap to us can break bones for some species. They're fragile, Jin Ho, and they know it. That's why they're scared. Jin Ho lay in bed that night, thinking about tomorrow. He had come to the academy to learn and make friends. Now he worried he might only make enemies. I just have to be careful, he told himself. How hard can a gym class be? He had no idea what was waiting for him. Jin Ho arrived early for his first gym class. The gymnasium was a huge room with strange equipment he had never seen before. Some looked like normal exercise machines, while others seemed designed for creatures with very different bodies. He wore the standard academy exercise uniform, stretchy gray shorts, and a t-shirt with his name and planet printed on the back. Jin and Ho, Earth. Other students began to arrive. Most wore modified versions of the uniform to fit their unique bodies. A group of jellyfish-like aliens floated in wearing special moisture suits. 2 insect aliens had uniforms with 6 arm holes. When they saw Jinho, many stopped at the door. Their translator devices couldn't hide the worry in their voices. A human is in our class. I thought physical training was grouped by planet type. Is this safe? Jinho pretended not to hear. He stretched his arms and legs, trying to look as harmless as possible. The last student to enter was a tall, purple alien with 4 arms and silver eyes. It walked right up to Jinho and looked down at him. "So you are the new Deathworlder," it said. "I am Du-hyun from Aquarius Prime. Nice to meet you," Jinho said, offering his hand. Du-hyun stared at Jinho's hand, but didn't take it. "I have heard stories about humans. They say you can break bones with your bare hands." "Only if we want to," Jinho said, then quickly added, "which we never want to." Du-hyun made a sound like bubbling water, which the translator didn't convert. Jinho guessed it was laughter. "We will see how strong you really are, Earthling," Du-hyun said before walking away. The gym door opened again, and a human man in his 40s walked in. He had a trim beard and carried a tablet. "Good morning, class. I am Professor Yoon," he said. "Welcome to Adaptive Physical Training 101. The alien seemed relieved to see another human as the teacher. "This course is required for all first-year students," Professor Yoon continued. "Its purpose is to help each species understand their physical capabilities and improve them where possible." He tapped his tablet, and a hologram appeared showing different alien bodies. Each species has different strengths and weaknesses. Some excel at speed, others at endurance. Some can lift many times their body weight, while others have reflexes faster than most computers. Professor Yoon looked directly at Jinho. "And some come from high-gravity worlds with challenging conditions that have shaped their evolution." The aliens followed his gaze to Jinho, who wished he could disappear. "Today, we will begin with basic strength assessment," Professor Yoon said. "Each student will perform exercises suited to their body type." He divided them into groups. Jinho was placed with 3 other bipedal species, including Du-hyun. Their first exercise was simple push-ups. "Begin with 10 repetitions," Professor Yoon instructed, "or as many as you can manage." The first alien struggled to do 3 push-ups before collapsing. The second managed 5. Du-hyun did 8 with visible effort, his 4 arms trembling by the end. Then it was Jinho's turn. Remembering Hye-jun's warning, he decided to do exactly 10, no more. Even holding back, the push-ups felt effortless to him. When he finished and stood up, he noticed the entire class had stopped to watch him. Their faces showed different emotions: fear, amazement, disbelief. "Is that normal for humans?" asked a small green alien. "Actually," Professor Yoon said, "Jinho could probably do hundreds of those without much trouble. Earth's gravity is 1.5 times stronger than standard academy settings." Du-hyun's silver eyes narrowed. "I do not believe it. No species could be that strong naturally." Professor Yoon smiled. "Then perhaps a demonstration is in order. For our next exercise, we'll test lifting capacity." Jinho felt all eyes on him. This was exactly what he had hoped to avoid. "Professor," he said quietly, "I don't want to show off." "It's not showing off, Jinho," Professor Yoon replied. "It's education. Many of your classmates have never seen a human in action before. This is a chance to help them understand." Jinho nodded reluctantly. The gym class was about to get very interesting. Professor Yoon led the class to a weight-lifting station. There were bars of different sizes with colored discs on each end. "These weights are marked in standard galactic units," he explained. "We'll start light and work our way up to find each student's maximum capacity." The small green alien went first. It struggled to lift a bar with tiny blue discs, managing to raise it only a few inches before setting it down. 2 standard units, Professor Yoon noted. Good effort. Lem. Next came a tall, thin alien with long arms. It lifted a bar with green discs. 5 standard units. Excellent. Nara. Several more aliens took their turns. Most lifted between 3 and 8 units. Do Hyun stepped forward confidently, all 4 arms flexing. I will demonstrate the superior strength of Aquarians, he announced. Do Hyun grabbed a bar with red discs and lifted it above his head. His face turned a darker purple with effort, but he held it steady. 12 units, Professor Yoon said. Very impressive. Do Hyun set the weights down and looked at Jin-ho with a smug expression. Your turn, Deathworlder. Jin-ho approached the weights nervously. Professor Yoon handed him a bar with much larger black discs. We'll start you at 20 units, he said quietly. Remember, this is about education, not competition. Jin-ho nodded and gripped the bar. It felt heavy, but not difficult. He lifted it easily over his head, held it for a moment, then lowered it gently. The room was completely silent. Do Hyun's silver eyes had grown wide. 20 units, no visible strain, Professor Yoon noted. Let's try 40. He added more black discs to the bar. Jin-ho lifted again. This time he felt some resistance, but it was still manageable. 40 units, minimal strain. Professor Yoon said, shall we try 60? Before Jin-ho could answer, Do Hyun stepped forward. This is impossible, he said. No biological creature can be this strong without technological enhancement. I assure you, Do Hyun, Jin-ho is using only his natural strength. Professor Yoon replied. Humans evolved on a high-gravity world with atmospheric pressure and predators that required great physical strength to survive. Do Hyun's translator made an angry buzzing sound. I demand proof. Let him lift the maximum weight. Professor Yoon hesitated. The maximum weight bar is designed for testing cargo droids, not students. I can try, Jin-ho said. He didn't want to show off, but Do Hyun's attitude was starting to bother him. Professor Yoon led him to a larger bar with massive silver discs. This is 100 units. No student has ever lifted it. Jin-ho took a deep breath and gripped the bar. This one was genuinely heavy. He braced himself, focused, and pulled. The bar rose slowly from the ground. Jin-ho's muscles strained as he lifted it to his waist, then to his chest, and finally over his head. His arms shook slightly, but he held it. The class gasped. A jellyfish alien floated backward so quickly it bumped into the wall. The small green alien, Lem, fell over in what appeared to be a faint. 100 units, Professor Yoon announced. A new academy record. Jin-ho carefully lowered the weights. When he turned around, the other students had backed away, forming a wide circle around him. Do Hyun stood frozen, all 4 arms hanging limp at his sides. How is this possible? He whispered. You lifted the weight of a small shuttlecraft. Jin-ho shrugged. On Earth, I was only average in my school's weightlifting team. Professor Yoon clapped his hands. And that class is why humans are classified as Deathworlders. Their home planet demanded this level of strength just to survive. Jin-ho noticed something strange on the bar where he had gripped it. The metal was slightly bent, showing the imprint of his fingers. I'm sorry about the equipment, he said to Professor Yoon. Professor Yoon smiled. Don't worry. It happens every year when the human students take this class. We keep spare equipment. Do Hyun was still staring at Jin-ho, but now with something new in his expression, not just fear, but respect. Perhaps, Do Hyun said slowly, there is more to learn about Deathworlders than I thought. News about Jin-ho's gym class performance spread quickly through the academy. By lunchtime, everyone seemed to know about the terrifying Deathworlder who could lift a shuttlecraft. Jin-ho sat alone in the cafeteria, picking at his food. The tables around him were empty, though the room was crowded. Mind if I join you? Asked a voice. Jin-ho looked up to see Mina holding a tray of food. Please, he said, grateful for the company. Mina sat down. I heard what happened in gym class. Word travels fast around here. Great, Jinho said. Now everyone thinks I'm a monster. Not everyone. Mina pointed across the room where Lem, the small green alien who had fainted, was watching them with huge eyes. Some think you're amazing. Lem has been telling everyone how you lifted the maximum weight like it was nothing. Jinho sighed. I was just doing what the teacher asked. I didn't want to show off. It doesn't matter, Mina said. You're a celebrity now. The scary human who broke the gym equipment. I didn't break it. I just bent it a little. They both laughed, and Jinho felt better. Across the cafeteria, a group of aliens sat together, speaking in low voices. One of them, a tall blue alien with crystal-like skin, kept looking at Jinho. That's Sunwoo, Mina whispered. He doesn't like humans. Why not? Jinho asked. His species believes in keeping the galaxy pure. They think Deathworlders are too dangerous to be part of galactic society. As if hearing his name, Sunwoo stood up and walked toward Jinho's table. 3 other aliens followed him. Human, Sunwoo said without greeting. Your display in the gymnasium was concerning. Jinho tried to smile. It was just a gym class. It was a demonstration of why your kind should not be here, Sunwoo replied. Your strength is unnatural, dangerous. I would never hurt anyone, Jinho said. Sunwoo's crystal skin flickered with blue light. Not intentionally, perhaps, but accidents happen. A simple handshake from you could break bones. Before Jinho could respond, a new voice joined the conversation. Leave him alone, Sunwoo. Do-hyun had appeared beside their table, all 4 arms crossed over his chest. The human has as much right to be here as you do, Do-hyun continued. Sunwoo turned to Do-hyun. I'm surprised, Aquarian. I thought you of all people would understand the danger. I understand more than I did this morning, Do-hyun replied. The human showed strength, yes, but also control. He could have shown off much more, but he held back. Sunwoo's lights flickered faster. You are naive. These creatures evolved killing things with their bare hands. They are predators. Jinho stood up. We evolved to survive, just like your species did. The difference is our planet tried to kill us every day, so we had to be stronger. The cafeteria had gone quiet. Everyone was watching. You do not belong here, Sunwoo said coldly. The academy will see that soon enough. He turned and walked away, his followers close behind. Thank you, Jinho said to Do-hyun after Sunwoo left. Do-hyun made the bubbling water sound again. I still think you are strange and frightening, human. But Sunwoo is wrong about you not belonging here. After lunch, Jinho received a message on his tablet. It was from the Academy administration. Student Jinho of Earth, please report to Director Kell's office immediately regarding concerns about intimidation of fellow students during physical training. Jinho showed the message to Mina. This isn't good, she said. Sunwoo's family has connections in the academy. He must have complained already. Jinho felt his stomach tighten. But I didn't do anything wrong. I know, Mina said. But being different is sometimes enough to get you in trouble. Jinho walked slowly to the administration building, wondering if his time at the academy was already ending. Behind him, Sunwoo watched from a distance, his crystal skin glowing with satisfaction. Jinho stood nervously in front of Director Kell's desk. The tall purple alien looked at him with all 4 eyes blinking slowly. Jinho of Earth. Director Kell said, I have received complaints about your behavior in physical training class. I was just following instructions, Jinho said. I didn't mean to scare anyone. Director Kell's translator made a soft clicking sound. I am aware. Professor Yoon has explained the situation. You are not in trouble. Jinho let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. However, the director continued, some students and their families are concerned about safety. They believe humans are too. unpredictable. What does that mean for me? Jinho asked. It means you must be extra careful. The exchange program is important, but fragile. One incident could end it for all humans. Jinho nodded. I understand. Good. You may return to your classes. Director Kell picked up a tablet. Tomorrow your class will use the aquatic training facility. Professor Yoon has adjusted the exercises to suit all species. The next day, Jinho arrived at the pool area. It was a huge round room with a deep pool in the center. The water glowed slightly blue. Welcome to aquatic training, Professor Yoon announced. Today we will test endurance and adaptability in water. Do-hyun looked excited. His purple skin seemed more vibrant near the water. This is my element, he told Jinho. Water is where aquarians are strongest. Professor Yoon explained the exercise. Each student would swim laps while wearing a small device that monitored their vital signs. The water has been set to neutral settings, he said. Temperature, salinity, and oxygen levels are balanced for all species. The students changed into swimwear and gathered at the pool's edge. Jinho noticed Sunwoo and his friends whispering together and looking at a control panel on the wall. The first group of students entered the water. Jinho watched as they swam, noting how different each species moved. Some used multiple limbs, others seemed to glide without moving at all. When it was Jinho's turn, he stood at the edge with Do-hyun and 2 other aliens. Ready? Professor Yoon asked. Begin. Jinho dove in. Immediately, he knew something was wrong. The water felt extremely cold and thick, like swimming in icy syrup. His skin burned from the strange chemicals in it. He pushed forward, forcing his arms and legs to move. Beside him, Do-hyun was swimming easily, clearly not affected by the change. Jinho's lungs began to burn. He realized the oxygen level in the water had been lowered, while the salt content had been increased. These conditions might be perfect for an aquarian like Do-hyun, but they were dangerous for a human. Keep going, he told himself. Don't show weakness. He completed 1 lap, then started a second. His muscles screamed in protest. The cold was making his limbs numb, and the chemicals stung his eyes. From the corner of his eye, he saw Sunwoo standing by the control panel, watching him struggle. This is sabotage, Jinho realized. But he wouldn't give up. Halfway through the second lap, Jinho's leg cramped painfully. He faltered, sinking for a moment before forcing himself back up. To his surprise, someone grabbed his arm. It was Do-hyun, using 2 of his 4 arms to support Jinho. The water has been changed, Do-hyun said. These are aquarian conditions. You cannot survive this. I'll make it, Jinho gasped. Foolish human, Do-hyun said, but he sounded impressed. He helped Jinho reach the edge of the pool. As they climbed out, Professor Yoon rushed over, his face angry. Who changed the water settings? He demanded, looking at the control panel. These are Class 4 aquarian conditions. His eyes found Sunwoo, who stood nearby with a cold smile. It must have been a malfunction, Sunwoo said innocently. Professor Yoon checked Jinho's vital signs. You should be in the medical bay. These conditions could have killed you. Jinho shook his head, water dripping from his hair. I'm fine. Just cold. Do-hyun looked at Jinho with new respect. No non-aquarian has ever completed a lap in Class 4 conditions. You did too. Deathworlder, Jinho said with a tired smile. Sunwoo's plan had failed. Instead of showing human weakness, Jinho had demonstrated human endurance, surviving conditions that should have been impossible for his species, and he had gained an unlikely ally in Do-hyun. Word of Sunwoo's sabotage spread quickly through the academy. Many students were angry that he had put Jinho in danger. Others still believed humans were too dangerous to attend the academy. In the human dormitory, Jinho, Hajum, Mina, and Tai sat together discussing what happened. Sunwoo and his friends have been called to a disciplinary hearing, Ta said. Professor Yoon is pushing for serious consequences. It won't change how they feel about humans, Jin-ho said. They'll still think we're monsters. Ho-jun tapped his fingers on the table thoughtfully. What if we show them we're not? How? Minna asked. Jin-ho has already shown he's not aggressive, even when provoked. That's not enough, Ho-jun said. We need to help them understand us better. He looked at Jin-ho. They fear what they don't understand. What do you suggest? Jin-ho asked. A cultural exchange, Ho-jun said, his eyes bright with excitement. We could host an event to teach them about Earth and humans. Show them where we come from and why we are the way we are. Ta nodded slowly. That could work. I'll speak to Professor Yoon about getting permission and a space. The next few days were busy as they prepared for the event. Professor Yoon not only approved the idea but offered the gymnasium as a venue. Minna prepared presentations about human biology. Ho-jun gathered videos and images of Earth. Jin-ho practiced what he would say. The day of the event arrived. Jin-ho was nervous as he watched students file into the gym. Some looked curious, others suspicious. He was surprised to see Do-hyun enter with a group of Aquarians. Welcome to Earth Day, Professor Yoon announced. Our human students have prepared this event to help you understand their home world and their species better. Minna went first, showing diagrams of human anatomy. Humans may seem strong to you, but on Earth, we're just average, she explained. Our planet has higher gravity than most inhabited worlds, which makes our bones and muscles denser. She showed images of Earth animals, lions, elephants, whales, all much larger and stronger than humans. We aren't even the strongest species on our own planet, she said. We survived by using our brains, not just our strength. Next, Ho-jun showed videos of Earth's environments, raging oceans, active volcanoes, violent storms, and freezing mountains. This is what shaped us, he said. Our planet is beautiful but dangerous. We evolved to survive these conditions. Finally, it was Jin-ho's turn. He stood in the center of the gym, facing the alien students. I know some of you are afraid of me, he said. I understand why. To you, I seem incredibly strong and tough. But to us, we're just normal. He walked toward the weight station and picked up a medium-sized weight. When I lift this, I'm not trying to show off or scare anyone. It's just what my body can do. Like how Do-hyun can breathe underwater or Lem can change colors. Jin-ho set down the weight and looked at the students. Yes, humans evolved on a world that tried to kill us every day. Yes, we're stronger than many species here, but we didn't come to the academy to frighten anyone. We came to learn and to share, to be part of something bigger than one planet or one species. The room was silent. Then, to Jin-ho's surprise, Lem raised a tiny hand. Can you show us what Earth food is like? The small alien asked. Is it as scary as you are? Jin-ho laughed. Some of it is. We can show you, if you're brave enough to try it. More students began asking questions. What was Earth music like? Did all humans lift weights? What games did humans play? The tension in the room slowly changed to curiosity. Do-hyun approached Jin-ho as other students gathered around displays of Earth artifacts. This was a good idea, the Aquarian said. Many still fear you, but now they are also interested in you. Jin-ho nodded. Fear can turn to understanding if you give it a chance. Even Sunwoo. Do-hyun asked, nodding toward the back of the room where Sunwoo stood watching with his arms crossed. Maybe not everyone, Jin-ho admitted. But it's a start. The final week of the term arrived quickly. The academy was busy with students preparing for exams and final projects. But the event everyone talked about most was the physical exhibition day, where each class would demonstrate what they had learned. Are you ready? Ho-jun asked Jin-ho as they walked to breakfast. I think so, Jin-ho replied. Professor Yoon helped me design a routine that shows human abilities without scaring everyone. In the cafeteria, Jin-ho no longer sat alone. Lem waved from a table where Do-hyun and several other aliens were already eating. "The Deathworlder arrives," Do-hyun said when Jin-ho sat down, but his tone was friendly. The term Deathworlder had changed from an insult to almost a nickname. "Are you prepared to be amazed by Aquarian grace in the exhibition?" Do-hyun asked. Jin-ho smiled. "I can't wait to see it." Lem bounced excitedly in his seat. "I heard each species will show their special abilities, and then there will be a big team event at the end." "That's right," Jin-ho confirmed. Professor Yoon said it's a relay race with mixed teams. Do-hyun's silver eyes widened. "Mixed teams? But our abilities are so different." "That's the point," Jin-ho explained. "We have to work together, using each species' strengths." The day of the exhibition arrived. The gymnasium had been transformed with a stage in the center and seating all around. Director Kell and other Academy officials sat in a special section. The exhibition began with each species performing demonstrations. The jellyfish aliens danced in the air, glowing with beautiful patterns of light. Lem's species showed their amazing ability to change color and shape. Do-hyun and the other Aquarians moved water through the air in complex patterns. Finally, it was the humans' turn. Jin-ho, Hejun, Mina, and Ta took the stage together. They had prepared a gymnastics routine that showed human strength, agility, and coordination. Jin-ho did handstands and flips that made the audience gasp. Mina and Hejun formed human towers and pyramids. They finished with Jin-ho lifting all three other humans at once, holding them above his head as they posed. The audience was silent for a moment, then erupted in applause. Even Director Kell was clapping all four hands together. "They're not afraid anymore," Jin-ho realized. "They're impressed." After all the demonstrations, Professor Yoon announced the final event, the relay race. "Each team will have 4 members of different species," he explained. "You must complete the course using each member's unique abilities." Jin-ho found himself on a team with Do-hyun, Lem, and a jellyfish alien named Rin. They huddled together to plan their strategy. "The race has 4 sections," Jin-ho said. "Water, air, climbing, and strength. Each of us should take the section that matches our abilities." They agreed. Do-hyun would swim, Rin would float through the air section, Lem would change shape to climb quickly, and Jin-ho would carry the heavy weights in the final section. As the race began, Jin-ho watched Do-hyun dive into the water. The Aquarian moved like lightning, giving their team an early lead. Rin took over for the air section, floating gracefully through floating hoops. Lem struggled a bit on the climbing wall, but managed to reach the top. Finally, it was Jin-ho's turn. He had to carry 4 heavy weights across the finish line. Sunwoo was in the same section on another team, struggling with just 1 weight. Jin-ho picked up all 4 weights at once and ran. The crowd cheered as he crossed the finish line, securing victory for his team. Director Kell presented them with a small trophy. "You have demonstrated the true purpose of the Academy. Different species working together, each contributing their unique strengths." Later, as Jin-ho packed for the short break between terms, Hejun asked, "Will you come back next term?" Jin-ho nodded. "Definitely. I feel like I belong here now." He looked at the small trophy on his desk. It wasn't just a prize for winning a race. It was a symbol of how far he had come, from being feared as a dangerous Deathworlder to being accepted as part of the Academy community. Being different isn't so bad, Jin-ho thought. Sometimes, it's what makes you valuable.